I always believed love mattered more than money. That belief shaped every choice I made. Denial, you're too simple, Sarah once said, smiling at me across a crowded bus stop. People like you don't exist anymore. I exist, I replied. And I'm standing right here. She laughed, soft and warm. That laugh pulled me in. I met Sarah 3 years ago when my life was quiet and my dreams were small but honest. I worked long hours, saved every rupee, and told myself struggle was temporary. Sarah listened when I talked. She nodded when I complained. She held my hand when I doubted myself. You'll do great things, she said one night. I believe in you. Those words stayed with me. When I proposed, I couldn't afford much. The ring was simple, thin gold, nothing fancy. My hands shook when I opened the box. I know it's not big, I said. But I promise I'll give you a big life. Sarah stared at the ring, then at me. You're serious? I've never been more serious. She smiled and said yes. In that moment I felt rich. At home, Amy noticed the ring immediately. You bought this yourself? She asked. Yes, Amy. She touched my cheek. Love is good, Beta. But never make yourself small for it. I won't, I said, even though I already was. There were things Sarah didn't know about me. Things I was taught to keep quiet. My family had rules about money, about silence, about not showing power before the right time. So I told Sarah my salary, not my full truth. One evening, Sarah invited me to dinner with her parents. Relax, she said. They're very open-minded. Uncle Rashid shook my hand firmly. So, Denial, what do you do exactly? I work in management, I said. And your monthly income? Auntie Nyla asked, smiling too politely. I answered honestly. Not fully. Just the number I always gave. Oh, she said. That's decent. Sarah squeezed my hand under the table. Dinner continued with small talk. Weather. Weddings. So when do you plan to upgrade? Uncle Rashid asked. Upgrade. I asked. Your position, he said. Men should grow fast these days. I'm working on it, I replied. Sarah laughed suddenly. Abu, Denial is very patient. He thinks time fixes everything. It does, I said softly. She tilted her head. Does it? Because patience doesn't pay bills. The table went quiet. Sarah, I said, forcing a smile, we talked about this. She waved her hand. I'm joking. Auntie Nyla chuckled. Young people must joke, otherwise life feels heavy. Uncle Rashid nodded. But jokes often hide truth. Sarah leaned back in her chair. Honestly, Denial, tell them. How much do you really earn? I repeated the number. She laughed. Not softly this time. Louder. That's it, she said. That's what you're proud of? My chest tightened. Enough, Amy's words echoed in my head, though she wasn't there. I swallowed. It's honest work. I know, Sarah said. I just didn't expect my future husband to be so basic. Uncle Rashid cleared his throat. Hard work is respectable. But ambition is better, Sarah replied. I stared at my plate. You'll manage, Auntie Nyla said gently. Girls adjust. That word hurt. After dinner, Sarah walked me to the door. You didn't have to laugh, I said. You're too sensitive, she replied. I was just being real. I thought we were on the same side. She shrugged. Love doesn't change reality. I nodded, pretending it didn't matter. But as I walked away, the ring in my pocket felt heavier than before. Something cracked inside me that night. I didn't hear it break. I only felt the silence afterward. Sarah's jokes didn't stop after that dinner. They grew legs and walked into every part of my life. Denial, tell them about your big dream, she said one evening at a friend's gathering. I looked up. What big dream? She smiled. Owning a small house before you're 40. People laughed. It's a good dream, I said. Hina leaned closer. It's cute, she added. Very simple. I nodded. I always nodded. You don't mind, right? Sarah asked. We're just teasing. It's fine, I said, even though it wasn't. At another dinner, someone asked about my work. He's a manager, Sarah said quickly. Nothing too serious. I manage people, I corrected. Junior people, she replied, laughing again. I felt heat rise in my face. Later, when we were alone, I said, You don't have to talk like that. She rolled her eyes. Why are you embarrassed by facts? I'm not embarrassed, I said. I just want respect. She sighed. You're making this heavy. At work, I kept my head down. My title said assistant manager. My name wasn't on the ownership papers. It never was. I used an alias like my family insisted. Denial. Mr. Farouk called me into his office. Sit. He studied me for a moment. You look tired. I'm fine, I said. He leaned back. Love without respect becomes poison. Remember that. I didn't answer. You hide too much, he added. Even from people who claim to love you. I don't want problems, I said. He smiled sadly. Silence creates them anyway. That night, Sarah brought up Adil again. Adil got promoted, she said casually. That's good, I replied. He drives a new car now. I nodded. He earns triple what you do, she added. I looked at her. Why are you telling me this? She shrugged. I'm just saying. Ambition looks good on men. I stayed quiet. Hina laughed from the couch. Sarah stopped. Denial is sensitive. I'm not sensitive, I said quickly. See, Sarah said. Always defending. At a birthday party, Adil showed up. So you're Denial, he said, shaking my hand. Sarah talks about you. Only good things, Sarah said, smiling at him. Adil looked at me. You're lucky. Why? I asked. He grinned. She has high standards. Sarah laughed. Someone joked, careful, Denial. Don't lose her. I laughed too. It sounded fake even to me. Later I stepped away to get water. Voices drifted from the balcony. I love him, Sarah said. My chest eased. But, she continued, sometimes love isn't enough. Hina replied, you deserve comfort. I know, Sarah said. I'm just settling for less right now. My hands froze. You'll upgrade eventually, Hina said. Sarah laughed softly. Hopefully. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. In that moment, everything made sense. The jokes. The comparisons. The laughter. I walked home alone. My phone buzzed. Where did you go? Sarah texted. Home, I replied. You disappeared. I needed air. She sent a laughing emoji. Don't be dramatic. I stared at the screen. I thought about the ring. The promises. The way she once said she believed in me. I whispered to myself, she doesn't love me the way I love her. Saying it hurt more than hearing it. That night I didn't sleep. I just listened to the quiet and wondered how long I had been alone without knowing it. I walked into the cafe smiling, holding my phone with Sarah's unread message still glowing on the screen. She'll be surprised, I told myself. I spotted her near the window first. She was laughing. Then I saw the hand she was holding. It wasn't mine. Adil sat across from her, fingers locked with hers, leaning close like he belonged there. I froze. Sarah looked up and saw me. Her smile vanished. Denial, she said, standing up slowly. I walked closer. What is this? Adil didn't move. I think you already know. Sarah pulled her hand free. You weren't supposed to come. That's your answer? I asked. I catch you holding his hand and that's all you say? She crossed her arms. Don't make a scene. A scene? My voice shook. You're cheating on me. Adil smiled calmly. Lower your voice. People are watching. I looked around. They were. Say something, I told Sarah. Say this isn't real. She exhaled sharply. Fine. You want honesty? Yes. I'm tired of waiting, she said. Tired of your small life. My chest burned. You promised we'd grow together, I said. She laughed once. Grow? With what money? Adil leaned back. Sarah deserves more than patience. I stared at him. Stay out of this. She brought me in, he replied. Sarah nodded. I did. My ears rang. So that's it? I asked. 3 years and you replace me like this? You weren't enough, she said. Love doesn't pay bills. I clenched my fist. My hands trembled. I loved you, I said. And I settled, she replied. I shouldn't have. The words hit harder than a slap. Adil stood up. You should leave. I laughed, short and broken. You think you can talk to me like that? He looked at my clothes. Reality talks for me. Sarah reached into her bag and pulled out the ring. I don't want this anymore, she said loudly. People turned. She placed it in my hand and pushed my chest. The ring fell to the floor. We're done, she said. I can't marry a man with no future. My vision blurred. I bent down and picked up the ring. My fingers felt numb. Say it once more, I said quietly. She didn't hesitate. It's over. Adil wrapped an arm around her. Something snapped inside me. I stepped back, breathing hard. My heart pounded like it wanted out. I walked outside without another word. The street felt too bright. My chest burned. My ears buzzed. My hands shook so badly I dropped my phone. I leaned against a wall and slid down. Denial. I looked up. Bilal? He rushed over. What happened? I laughed. She chose him. He saw the ring in my hand. Don't do anything stupid. I feel empty, I said. Like someone ripped me open. Bilal grabbed my shoulders. Look at me. I did. This pain won't kill you, he said. But one bad decision might. I closed my eyes. My jaw clenched. Come with me, he said. Just walk. We walked until my legs stopped shaking. At my place, Bilal stayed until I fell silent. Later that night, I sat alone on my bed. The ring lay in my palm. I gave you everything, I whispered. The room answered with silence. I felt something die inside me then. Not love. Hope. But beneath the ashes, something darker stirred. I didn't know its name yet. I only knew I would never beg again. I didn't block Sarah right away. I just stopped replying. Her first message came that night. Can we talk? I stared at the screen and placed the phone face down. The next day, another message. I think we should clear things. I whispered to myself, silence is clearer. Bilal called me. You okay? I'm breathing, I said. That's not an answer. It's enough for now. At the office, Mr. Farouk asked me into his room again. You've been quiet, he said. I'm learning, I replied. He nodded. Good timing. Sit. I sat. The expansion is complete, he said. International branch. Clean transfer. I waited. Your net worth crossed a level most men dream of, he continued. Even quietly, it's big. I felt nothing. You're not smiling, he said. I didn't earn it to smile, I replied. He studied me. Pain has sharpened you. Pain taught me restraint, I said. He leaned forward. Don't let silence turn into bitterness. It won't, I said. It's protection. At home, Amy noticed my calm. You eat quietly now, she said. I don't have much to say. She placed food in front of me. That's fine. I looked at her. You were right. She smiled softly. I usually am. Begging would have broken me, I said. She nodded. A man who begs loses himself. I almost did, I admitted. But you didn't, she replied. Days passed. I stopped checking my phone every hour. When it buzzed, I didn't jump. When silence came, I didn't fear it. Hina showed up unexpectedly one evening. You disappeared, she said, sitting across from me. I'm busy, I replied. With what? She asked. Living, I said. She laughed awkwardly. Sarah misses you. I don't miss confusion, I replied. Hina leaned closer. She didn't know everything. I know, I said. She knew enough. She tried again. People make mistakes. So do people who leave, I replied. Her smile faded. You've changed. Yes, I said. Finally. She sighed. So the rumors are true? What rumors? I asked. You, she said. Money. Power. I looked at her calmly. Rumors aren't my problem. She stood up. You're cold now. I'm clear, I corrected. After she left, I didn't feel guilty. I stopped explaining myself to anyone. When someone asked, what happened between you and Sarah? I answered, it ended. No story. No emotion. At work, people spoke differently to me. Sir, they said more often. I didn't correct them. I focused on my decisions. My tone. My limits. One evening, Bilal asked, are you okay with being alone? I'm not alone, I said. I'm just not chasing. He nodded. That's growth. At night, Sarah's name crossed my mind less. When it did, it didn't hurt as much. It felt distant. Faded. Then an envelope arrived. Emmy picked it up. It's a wedding card. I froze. She handed it to me. Sarah's cousin. I opened it slowly. You don't have to go, Amy said. I know, I replied. I stared at the names. The date. The place. Bilal looked over my shoulder. You'll see her. Yes, I said. Are you ready? I folded the card carefully. I don't need to be ready. Emmy watched me. Why will you go? I met her eyes. Because silence isn't running. That night, I placed the invitation on my desk. I didn't feel fear. I felt steady. I knew one thing clearly. The next time she saw me, I wouldn't explain a single thing. I arrived at the wedding hall alone, dressed simply, nothing loud, nothing expensive. Bilal looked at me. You good? I'm fine, I said. Let's go in. Music played. Lights glowed. Laughter bounced off the walls. I saw Sarah immediately. She stood near the stage, dressed beautifully, her hand resting on Adil's arm like it belonged there. She laughed easily, confidently. She didn't look at me. "That's her," Bilal said quietly. "I know," I replied. We moved inside. People nodded at me. Some smiled. "Denial by," a man said. "Good to see you." "Likewise," I replied. Another voice followed. "Sir, welcome." I paused. "Sir." Sarah glanced over, confused. "Do you know him?" Adil asked her. She shook her head. "Probably someone Bilal knows." We took seats near the back. I stayed quiet. "Relax," Bilal whispered. "Just breathe." I watched Sarah laugh again. It didn't hurt like I expected. The event host stepped onto the stage. "Ladies and gentlemen," he announced, "thank you for joining us." Applause followed. "We also want to acknowledge the key supporters of this celebration," he continued, "especially the primary investor behind the Crescent Heights project." I felt Bilal shift beside me. "And that is Mr. Denial Khan," the host said. "Please stand." The room murmured. I stood calmly. Sarah's head snapped toward me. Adil frowned. "What did he say?" People clapped politely. Some turned to look. Sarah whispered, "That's not possible." I sat back down. The whispers grew louder. "Crescent Heights," someone said behind me. "That's a billion-rupee project." "Isn't he just a manager?" another voice asked. Sarah walked closer, her heels sharp against the floor. "You?" she asked softly. "That's you?" "Yes," I replied. Adil laughed nervously. "This must be a joke." "It's not," Bilal said. "Look it up." Sarah's face paled. "You never told me," she said. "You never asked," I replied. A man approached me. "Sir, thank you again for your support." "You're welcome," I said. Sarah stepped back like she'd been pushed. Adil leaned close to her. "What's happening?" She didn't answer. "You lied to me," she said to me. I stayed silent, I replied. "There's a difference." Her lips parted. "All this time?" "All this time." Adil crossed his arms. "So what?" "Money changes nothing." Sarah snapped at him. "Be quiet." I raised an eyebrow. She looked at me again. "Why didn't you say anything? Would it have changed how you treated me?" I asked. She didn't respond. The host returned to the mic. "Once again, thank you, Mr. Denial." Applause followed. Louder this time. Sarah's hands trembled. "I didn't know," she whispered. "I know," I replied. Adil pulled her aside. "You said he was nobody." She shook her head. "I didn't know." He looked at me with tension. "You think this makes you better?" "No," I said. "It makes me clear." Sarah swallowed hard. "I made a mistake." I met her eyes. "You made a choice." She looked away. People continued greeting me. "Sir, pleasure meeting you." "Sir, congratulations." I nodded, smiled lightly. Sarah watched every interaction. Adil stepped back, silent now. Her confidence faded. Her posture changed. She finally whispered, "I didn't see your worth." I replied calmly, "Because you only looked at numbers." She closed her eyes. In that moment she understood. Not the money. The loss. And I said nothing more. I saw Sarah approach me in the quiet corner of the hall. Her steps were hesitant. She didn't meet my eyes. "Denial?" she whispered. "Yes." I asked calm. She swallowed. "Are the rumors true?" I let the silence stretch. Then quietly, "Yes." Her shoulders sagged slightly. Not dramatic, not loud, just a subtle lowering. I could see the weight of realization pressing down on her. I didn't mean," she started. "You didn't need to mean anything," I said. "You just acted." Her lips trembled. I was afraid. Afraid of failing, of not keeping up. Everyone expected so much. "And you thought leaving me would fix that?" I asked. She shook her head. "No. I thought I was choosing safety. I was wrong." I studied her. The pride she always carried had softened. The confidence replaced by shame. Her bow wasn't a literal grovel, but it was clear. She recognized her mistake. "I'm sorry," she said. I shouldn't have doubted you, mocked you, left you." "I'm sorry." "I hear you," I said. No warmth, no relief. Only clarity. She looked down. "I don't even know if you can forgive me." "I'm not here to forgive," I said. "I'm here to move forward." Her eyes flicked up. "You're calm?" "I have no reason to raise my voice," I replied. "You've already spoken." She nodded. I can't undo the past. No, I said. And that's the point. Adil appeared beside her later, scowling. You think you can just show up and, what? Act like nothing happened? I didn't flinch. I'm acting like the person I've always been. He leaned closer. You think you're powerful now? I control the funding behind the project your career depends on, I said softly. His face drained of color. That's impossible. You'll find out soon enough, I said. Come. Detached. Truth spoken quietly carries more weight than anger. Sarah shifted uncomfortably beside him. Adil, don't. He turned to me. You can't, you're just. I'm what I allowed myself to become, I said. Not by seeking revenge. Not by threatening. Simply by living. He stammered. This isn't fair. Life isn't fair, I said. But it balances itself. Quietly. Without me raising a hand. Sarah exhaled. I didn't think. You didn't think, I said. And that's why you're here and I'm still standing. She looked at me with a mix of regret and something softer. Understanding. Not forgiveness. Not relief. Just comprehension. I wanted to explain, she said. To say maybe I was wrong about everything. I know, I said. And that's enough. Adil tried again. You think I'll take this lying down? I don't need to fight you, I said. You'll see the consequences naturally. He ground his teeth. This isn't over. I shook my head slowly. It is. For me. Not for you. And that's all that matters. Sarah's voice barely reached me. I wish I had known. You knew enough to act, I said. That's why it ended the way it did. Her eyes glistened, but she didn't cry. No dramatic show. Just a deep, heavy understanding that she couldn't change anything. You've changed, she whispered. I've always been this way, I said. I just stopped bending to others' expectations. She nodded again. I respect that. Respect is earned, I said. I don't give it for apologies. She took a step back. I see that now. I remained silent. Let her words settle. Let the moment speak louder than any act of vengeance. Adil finally stepped away, muttering under his breath. Sarah followed him. I didn't move. I realized something then. Revenge doesn't need to be loud. It doesn't need dramatic gestures or confrontations. It's quiet, irreversible, and unavoidable when the truth exists and people face it naturally. I straightened my back, breathing slowly. My calm, my silence, my dignity, that was my victory. And for the first time in months, I felt a small, unshakable clarity. My phone buzzed late that night. I hesitated before picking it up. Sarah? I whispered. Her name felt heavy on my lips. The message opened. I can't sleep. I keep thinking about what I lost. I'm sorry for everything. I feel so alone. I stared at it. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, then I put the phone down. Don't reply yet, I whispered to myself. Not now. Bilal's voice echoed in my memory. Remember who you were before the pain. Don't let her shadow you. I paced the room. My chest tightened. I wanted to reply, wanted to explain, wanted to feel that old connection. But something held me back. Peace matters more than pride, Amy said earlier, softly, when I had sighed in frustration. Her words returned. Peace over pride. Peace over pride. I leaned against the wall, reading her message again. I can't sleep. I'm alone. It hurt, but it wasn't a dagger in my heart anymore. It was a note of reality. She had choices, consequences, and I had mine. I thought about Adil. Apparently, he left once he realized the truth. My chest tightened slightly at the image, but not in triumph. I felt only clarity. Karma had its rhythm, and I wasn't cheering at it. I wasn't celebrating anyone's fall. That wasn't me. Bilal called. She texting? Yes, I said quietly. Are you replying? He asked. Not yet, I said. I need to think. You've changed. Denial. Don't lose that now. I won't, I said. I just need to choose carefully. The phone buzzed again. Another message. Everything is falling apart. I thought I was smart, but I wasn't. I see now. I was wrong. I closed my eyes. My heart ached a little. Not for her. Not for Adil. For the version of me who used to bend, beg, and plead. That version was gone. I thought of every cruel laugh, every comparison, every careless word she had thrown. I remembered the ring on the cafe floor. The burning chest, the shaking hands, the numbness afterward. And now the clarity, none of that could ever be undone. None of it. I whispered, I don't owe her anything. Bilal's voice returned in my memory. You were never weak, just too trusting. Don't forget that. I finally picked up the phone. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. I typed slowly, I acknowledge your words. This chapter is closed. I wish you clarity and peace. I paused. No smile. No flourish. No hope implied. Just closure. I pressed send. The phone sat quietly in my hand. No reply came. I didn't expect one. I exhaled. Long and deep. My shoulders relaxed. I felt the sadness then, not sharp, not angry, just quiet. A recognition of loss. But it wasn't regret for myself. It was acknowledgement that people make choices and face consequences. I wasn't responsible for her mistakes. I wasn't her savior. I wasn't the person she wanted me to be. Amy's words came again. Peace matters more than pride. I smiled softly, the first real one in days. Bilal texted, did you reply? Yes, I typed. I'm done. Then I did the last thing. I blocked her number. No anger. No triumph. Just a solid, calm line of finality. I sat back in the chair, feeling the room around me. The quiet was mine now. Unbroken. Safe. Unclaimed by past mistakes or people who didn't respect me. For the first time in months, I wasn't haunted by her voice or laughter. I wasn't calculating what she thought or felt. I was free to be exactly who I was, and no one could take that. I looked at the phone one last time. It was nothing but a silent device now. No messages. No expectations. No pull. I whispered to myself, I choose me. I felt a weight lift from my chest. Not happiness. Not joy. Just a calm strength I hadn't realized I possessed. For the first time, I slept without chasing memories, without imagining reunions, without bargaining with the past. Just silence. Just peace. I sat at the cafe watching people pass by, my coffee untouched. Bilal's voice echoed in my memory, you've rebuilt yourself. Don't forget that. I smiled faintly. Not prideful. Just steady. A waitress approached. Sir, your coffee? Thank you, I said. I looked at the window. Across the street I saw her. Sir. She didn't notice me. She walked with purpose, but somehow she seemed smaller than I remembered. I studied her silently. Bilal appeared beside me as if sensing my thoughts. You're looking at her again. I am, I admitted. She looks diminished. Does it matter? He asked. I shook my head. No. It's not about her anymore. A man walked by holding a business contract. I nodded politely. Good luck with your deal, I said. He looked surprised. Sir, oh yes. Thank you. I smiled lightly. People greeted me with respect, quietly. I didn't need to announce myself. I didn't need to prove anything. Bilal leaned closer. You're different now. Yes, I said. Calm. Clear. Not hiding, not chasing. I'm just me. He nodded. And that's all that matters. I glanced at Sarah again. She laughed at something Adil said. The sound used to cut through me like a knife. Now it was background noise. I felt nothing but acceptance. I whispered to myself, this is real freedom. Bilal smiled. Do you regret? No, I said. Not her leaving. Not the pain. It built me. It forced me to own myself. I pulled my wallet from my pocket and checked my schedule. Work, meetings, calls. Everything balanced, stable, mine. No lies, no hidden truths, no pretending. The waitress returned. Anything else, sir? No, I said. I'm fine. Bilal looked at me. You could have flaunted everything. Showed her, embarrassed her. But you didn't. That's not victory, I said. Victory isn't making someone else suffer. Victory is knowing I survived and I rebuilt stronger. He nodded, quietly impressed. I looked down at my hand. The old ring rested in my palm. The thin gold band that once symbolized hope, love, and trust. Once heavy with memory, now light. Give it away, Bilal suggested. I nodded. It belongs in someone else's story now. I slipped it into an envelope and handed it to the cafe manager. For someone who will cherish it, I said. The manager looked curious. Yes, sir. I stood up and felt a strange calm wash over me. No anger. No sadness. Just clarity. Denial, Bilal said softly. You're ready? I am, I replied. Ready to move forward, not to fight shadows. I glanced at Sarah one last time. She passed by the cafe door, her expression fleetingly caught by the window. Recognition? Surprise? I didn't care. I whispered to myself, the real victory isn't money. It's self-worth. It's knowing I matter, even when others doubt it. Bilal clapped my shoulder. Then go. Your life is waiting. I nodded. The sun hit my face through the window. Warm, clear, unshakable. I stepped outside. The street was busy, full of life, full of opportunity. No reminders. No obligations. Only the future. I felt my chest expand. I wasn't seeking revenge. I wasn't proving anything to anyone. I was alive. Oh, free. Denial. Bilal called. Yes. I said. Your coffee is cold, he laughed. I smiled. It doesn't matter. We walked together for a few steps, then I turned. I'll see you at work tomorrow, I said. Don't forget to enjoy life, he replied. I won't, I said. I kept walking. My mind was quiet, clear. Memories of betrayal lingered like shadows at the edge, but they no longer held power over me. Every step felt deliberate, steady, forward. I wasn't running. I wasn't hiding. I was reclaiming myself. I whispered one last thought to the empty street. I survived. I rebuilt. I am stronger than I ever imagined. And with that, I walked into the evening, not as a man who won revenge, but as a man who survived betrayal, reclaimed his dignity, and embraced the life he had earned. The past had its lessons. The present had its peace. The future had everything I chose to make of it. I was free.